Hi everyone, it's Dr. Erica Person and welcome to another episode of the Flex Audiology Show. Today we are going to answer the question, why do hearing aid repairs cost anywhere from $85 all the way up to $450? So we're going to break down those costs and see what they actually include, and I promise there is a method to the madness. So let's talk about warranty repairs that don't cost anything. So your hearing aid is still under warranty, it's broken down, and we can't fix it here in the office. The best bet is that we are going to send it off to the manufacturer. The manufacturer does not charge you for repairs, but what happens depending on the model that you purchase, so if you purchase a bundled hearing aid package, there'll be no additional cost to you. If you went to an itemized or an unbundled office like ours, you paid significantly less up front. But if you did not get a service package, then you'll be paying for the services that happen during that time frame. So what does that include? That includes shipping costs. That includes our diagnostics to find out, is this something that we can fix here in the office for you so that you don't have to go without your hearing aids. It includes when we get the devices back, we're going to put it in our test box measurement and verify that the electronics are working up to spec, because as much as I love UPS and FedEx, if you've ever seen them handle packages, it's a wonder that any hearing aid works at all when we get them. And that's not a knock on them. It's just, they're kind of throwing packages around. And then, of course, a lot of times we get the hearing aids back and the settings, your hearing aid settings are gone. So we either got to re-download those, or we may have to schedule an appointment with you so that we can make sure your hearing aids are still talking together, and then repair Bluetooth if you need that help as well. So that's where those costs are. So in warranty, you're probably still looking at about $85, but generally we try to keep it as low as possible. Then we're going to talk about our out of warranty hearing aids, and this is that's what we see a lot of. There's it's not a lot of in warranty repairs. It happens right after that 3-year mark. It's so aggravating. It's like they got a timer set in there for something to go out. So when the devices come in, again, we're going to try to triage and see, is it something that we can fix here in the office? I will tell you, 85% of the time, it is a filter. And that takes 2 seconds. The problem is that we've got to disinfect the hearing aid, we've got to get it cleaned up, and then we're kind of ruling out what is being blocked. Is it a microphone port or is it the filter? And that filter, I'm going to put that really close. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's that little white thing at the end of the receiver. So I'll go really slow to see if the phone will. That filter is tiny. Once that thing gets clogged up, it just won't work. Okay, so a lot of times we're cleaning up the devices, we get down to that, we unplug that filter, and the hearing aid comes right back on, and that's fantastic. But then we need to make sure that the earwax or whatever clogged it doesn't get on the microphone behind it, the receiver behind it, excuse me. So then we'll run it in our test box just to make sure it's working and life is good. So those could be charges. Sometimes, depending on if the debris got down in there, the actual receiver, so that's what that receiver piece looks like, sometimes this has to be replaced. Sometimes the wire gets bent. Sometimes there's a bad connection onto the hearing aid. And when that happens, we need to replace these receivers. And those receivers can be anywhere from $85 to $150 just to change them. Flex Audiology, we carry almost all the manufacturer receivers. So whether it's Widex, Phonex, Starkey, Utatron, Signia, Starkey, we've got these in stock. What I like about that is, again, it's a simple fix for you as the patient. You don't have to drop off the hearing aid and then be without it for 2 weeks or set up an appointment to do a loaner. It's something that we can fix in-house. Sometimes, again, it's just a mic cover that we can change. And so those are best case scenarios for you guys. Then it's the ones that we can't fix here in the office, but they're out of warranty. And so again, you've got just that general diagnostic charge that we're going to do to see if we can fix it here first. But if we can't and it's out of warranty, then we're going to have to send it into the manufacturer. And that's where the cost really goes up. And it's not because the repair itself is expensive, it's because they're kind of forcing you to buy a 1-year warranty, which to me makes sense anyway, because again, with the way that the hearing aids are traveling in the mail system, it just makes sense to be protected. And then honestly, once they start breaking into your devices, things just don't work as well as what they used to. So that 1 year, kind of call it a worry-free warranty, because really during that next year, everything's covered for that device. And then again, when we get it back, we may either have to reload your settings. We're going to test it in the test box, make sure it's running for you. When we start getting up into some of those higher costs, that's when we may look at you and say, you may want to consider a service package for the next year, just to kind of get through some of these additional costs that we might run into. So there is a lot going on when we look at repairing your hearing aids, which is why it's such a large range from $85 to $450. But our goal is always to try to fix it in the office, and then beyond that, we're going to leave it up to you depending on the age of the device. Do you want to put the money into cost of repairing it, or do you want to look at potentially getting new devices? So if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line, send me an email. I love responding to people. So hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.